Heavens above. Hello everybody, welcome back to Cape Rugby TV. Wednesday nights live on Cape Town TV. Nice to have you along. And tonight we're going to show you a little bit behind the scenes of what happens here at Cape Rugby TV. Very exciting little feature coming up during the course of the show. Of course, my panel this evening, the usual, according to the Twitter lines, the sex bombs of Western Province Rugby. Morgan Newman. Hello, Morgs.
How's it, Joseph? I don't know about that, but anyway.
Herman Abrams.
Good evening, Dave.
And myself. And for some other reason, Jerome was left out of the tweet of the panel with the most sex appeal. Hello, Jerome.
Hello, JP.
But I suppose you feel happier, safer about that.
Yeah,
though.
definitely, JP.
It's a lot safer to go home after you haven't been.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Nice to have you here. Yes, so it's going to be a fun show. We'll take a look at the logs, the results, the fixtures. Of course, the I Love Western Province Club Rugby campaign. How are you doing as a club? Are you busy sending those messages and MMSing or photographs to get those prizes for your club? We'll check on that a little bit later, what the rankings are. We'll take a look at the Super Brew rankings a little bit later. Of course, there's only one game left now. It's the Sharks and the Chief. And we're going to take a look at some of the questions that came in on Facebook. We'll try our best to answer some of them. And just before the show, we threw out a couple of interesting questions. One of them was about the situation with water on the fields and your feeling on rain on the fields, and which fields did you feel were maybe the worst affected, and maybe fields should be starting to be treated a little bit like a golf course. In other words, there's only so many games you can play on a field. Is that a case? We'll touch on that a little bit later. But before we go any further ahead, let's take a look at the weekend's results now. Oh, hang on. Before we talk about the weekend's results, Mr. H, you were up in arms last night and in tears because apparently your family were doing what champions do.
Lying in bed watching TV while I was shouting my head off and a proud South African. How didn't that father feel there? You know? It was amazing to see his reaction.
You're of course referring to Chad Laclosse's Olympic gold yesterday, beating the legendary Michael Phelps.
Yeah, in the same fashion that Phelps.
I could say Chad Leclos, as the announcers nowadays say, but we all know this ain't Chad Laclos. Okay, so Chad Laclos, het daar vir Phelps, op die laaste minuut. But wasn't that incredible? I mean, you were saying earlier on that that's the kind of thing that has every South African standing up in the chair, watching.
Cheering.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't matter what color he is.
No matter.
Doesn't matter. They just cheer a South African that's performing.
Yeah.
And again, my story about it's never over until the fat lady sings. 1/100th of a second was the difference.
Yeah, can you believe it? The great Michael Phelps. I mean, I was actually surprised to see Phelps back in the pool. But, anyway, folks, we can't turn it into a swimming show. There's enough rain out there. The rugby fields are turning into a swimming show on a weekly basis. Talking about rugby fields turning into swimming fields, hopefully the rain will stay away this weekend. Cape Rugby TV this weekend, going out to watch that match. Elsie's Rivier against UWC. It's a must-win for both sides. Elsie's looking for that to avoid relegation, and UWC looking to jump into Super League B. So we'll touch on that a little bit later. Let's quickly take a look now at some of the weekend results. Let's start off with Super League A. False Bay going down to UCT 36-12. Durban going down to Tygerberg 35-26. Vix 35-25 win for them over Belhar, and Marty's a 45-5 win over Villagers. Let's take a look at those results now. The big one here, obviously, Mr. H, the enormous big shock that everybody said was going to be impossible. Tygerberg smashing Durban. What happened here? I mean, here's a team we were saying only a week ago that if they don't pull their finger out, then they are possibly going to go back to Super League B. And they come out and they drill the top of the chart.
And the week prior to that, they beat
False Bay.
And the thing is, I think complacency set in at Durbanville Bell. Yeah. They apparently kept their normal first 7 on the bench, and the reserves played. By the time they opened their eyes, it was too late.
So you don't
take chances.
Jerome, you don't do that? Is it what's the policy when it comes to selection? Do you always start with the strongest first?
Yeah, always start with your strongest team. First get the points, and then relax if you can relax. But it's not the other way around. You
like we were told, we have 8 points on the board already.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, like you can't. Yeah, you can't say that. Put 8 points on the board and the Stormers in. But I must say, JP, the Tigerberg, I must say, Peter Juster, William Croy, director of rugby, Tolly van der Westhuizen, Roger Smith, they really never gave up. Because they said the second round they're gonna go out and they're gonna do something, which they've done, and every week they've got their whole first team basically on the field training, and they're really working hard. So they put the effort in. So it just shows like the guys at the top, if they're serious, the players see that, and everybody follows.
And we of course spoke to the guys from Tigerberg after the Falsebay match, and JB van Sterren. And of course with fans and supporters like Tigerberg has got, it also keeps the spirit alive. But JB saying there that, in that post-match interview, that for them, as much as I try to get him to say that rugby is just for the love of the rugby, I said, it's about the winning of the rugby. Yes, but certainly look like they're serious about it. Looks like Tigerberg is now getting back into knowing, almost like a little bit of like muscle memory.
Yeah.
Like getting it back of what you were. It just takes a few games before. Morgs, would you agree with that? Like it takes a little bit of getting used to remember who you were before.
Yeah, no, for sure, Jeps. I mean, obviously, in top flight rugby like it is, the players got to get used to the pace of the game, and obviously it's different to where the guys come from, or preseason and how preseason is. So second round, I think you'll see a lot of teams performing a lot better. And like you've seen from Tigerberg, I mean, now you can see that the league is getting a bit serious, and guys have got to pull off results wherever they can, and Tigerberg have clearly done very well.
Well, I think the weather's also starting to change. We're going to see some big derby matches coming up in the next couple of weeks still. So the club rugby fever certainly isn't fading away. It's now only now starting to get into it. All right, folks, so let's quickly take a look then at all. Of course, we know that Marty's beating Villagers 45 points to 5. It was a home game for Marty's, Morgs.
Yeah, that's right, Jeps. We played Villagers again in Stellenbosch.
Yeah.
And it was a good result. I think Villagers, I spoke to Rita after the game, and obviously they're still working on, sort of a few things and working on a few structures. But I mean, again, the results probably...
Rita Klongwani, the coach.
Rita, the coach, yes. And I mean, again, the result, obviously, I don't think is not a good reflection of the game. The Villagers were in it for a long time. So I think you'll see them pull off 1 or 2 surprises too before the end of the season.
Moving along to Super League B then. In Super League B, Brackenfell, well, they went down by just 2 points. The Kales refer. Hands and Hearts, a big loss for them against Helderberg, 47-15. Belleville 34-28 over Goodwood. And the biggest one then over the weekend in Super League B was NNK beating Penil Villagers 90 points to 19. Mr. H, 19-19 against Penil Villagers. And what I heard was that it was more of a keep your head down because he faced the vlieg he saw. But what was absolutely beautiful was I saw 2 photographs on Facebook on the Cape Rugby Show, and I don't know, we might even have them in the show a little bit later, of the scoreboards. One of Durbanville's scoreboard and the other one of NNK scoreboard, and there it was, 19 visitors, 19. Jerome, what do you make of that result? 90 points.
Yeah, no, I know. It's also getting tough for NNK now with Helderberg and Belleville. Like sort of the 3 of them, anything can happen between them.
Yeah.
So I think their approach is now to get as much points as they can, because they had a couple of losses that they couldn't really afford. So I think it's going to get tough now in the teams now who's going to really get their bonus points and get their points. Is going to really at the end, that's going to matter for who's going to go
really
through.
Crack it on. There was no one away this weekend. No Dizer team matches or anything.
The question is, where was Penil? Were they there?
Well, I don't know, but
watching the Olympics.
I mean, 90 points to 19. Yes. Okay, well, we'll see what happens when we look at the logs. Because this week we're going to take a look at the logs and look at who's in what we call the green zone, more or less the top 3, and then the red zone, the bottom 3, because that's more or less the space that we can expect the big fights are going to be to move up and down in the leagues. Premier League A then, it's St George's up against Hamlets. That was a win for St George's, 30-10. Scottsdene losing to LC Sophia 27-25. UWC a solid win for them, 49-17. Of course, them getting ready now for their match against Elsies Rivier. As I said, we will be there this weekend. Langa beat Young Peoples 20-0. Solarians beating Franschhoek 40-0. Eerste Rivier 42-20 over Milnerton. Interesting result there. Scottsdene and Elsies Rivier 27-25. I mean, this is the game that we're focusing on this weekend. What we see as possibly a derby match. Elsies Rivier always renowned for the amount of supporters that they've got. They really are great. Well, I'm expecting great things. We're going to touch on some of the comments a little bit later. But I spoke to Oliver Janssen from UWC this afternoon, and he said that that it's been a little bit difficult for the students, for UWC, because of the student break, and now they've got to come back. And he also went on to say that many of the students went to the USA games, where they went and played there. So that's been their only rugby in the last couple of days.
Yeah, but at least they played some games, you know.
Yeah.
Normally there's no games in between. So yeah, they shouldn't be too badly off.
Yeah. Got a nice message in during the course of the show from Anslin April. I asked him to just give us a little bit of comment about the possible results for Elsies, or at least the feeling there. And he went on to say that his take on the team is that any team, irrespective of how good on history or log position, can be beaten. He said it's been proven by Tigerberg against Durbel, Bellville against NNK, Chad Lacrosse versus Michael Phelps, and Rafael Nadal taking out at Wimbledon, taken out by a rookie. Interesting comparisons being drawn here between the big sports and our local sports. But he said that Elsies at the park are a difficult nut to crack. In the past, teams like Durbel, Hamilton's, Valspat, Belhar got their tail between the legs. Elsies doesn't believe in size like so many teams have the obsession with, and they make do with what they've got. Any team who comes to the park don't know what state they might leave in after the match. Jerome, would you agree with that?
Might.
It could be tough.
Got a point there.
Yeah. So what he was, when I spoke to, interestingly enough, I spoke to Percival Kaiser, the manager of Elsies Rivier, this afternoon, and he said that the Scottsdene. I asked him how did the game go against Scottsdene, because Elsies Rivier was 20 points to 3 behind in their match against Scottsdene, and they pulled it together and came away with that win of 27-25. Going on to say that also they had a different way of thinking this week, that they took Bradley Green, their 8th man, and put him at fullback, who brought in a little bit more zip. Jerome, how many 8th men do you play at fullback?
JP, I think it's thinking out of the box. Their coach Dean, also one of the great players. He also played for Province, and as a youngster he played for Province. Got injured, so he had to stop, unfortunately. But I know he always think of something new. And also at Elsies River is, you know, the atmosphere there, and I think the team there, they can't lose at Elsies. Yeah. With the people there.
Yeah, great atmosphere.
They won't get any food, nothing.
They won't get a scarf, that's for sure.
Yeah. So then I think they play for that, and they know that their fans are really crazy, so they have to win teams there.
Yeah, well, I tell you, the amazing thing that I've seen so far about Elsies Rivier is that they're leading the I Love Western Province Club Rugby campaign, the top of the log. Alice Michaels, when she got those gears rolling. So Elsies is well on the way to winning some great prizes for their club. Some of those prizes are things like jerseys and rain jackets and tog bags and stuff, the kind of stuff that you really need for your club. But what do we make of this game then? UWC, I mean, if we just look at what potentially could be a big derby match here, UWC are sharing the log first and second position in Premier League A. They're on top, I think they're both on 48 points. They're on top of the log, sharing it, but are leading on points difference. If they bring their students out to the field on Saturday, so I hope Oliver Janssen and Mandisi and everybody else at UWC and the students out there are listening, all right, and that you actually show us that you deserve to be filmed on Saturday, that you bring all of your fans, and you should be able to bring all your fans. Your students should be getting behind your team in the same way that every other university has. But we could have one of the biggest derby matches we've seen in a long time. Yes,
and you know, the thing is that UWC is not far away from Elsies River.
Exactly.
They can walk there.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of students also stay around the Elsies River area, so they can all
come and
there.
support their
Yeah.
team. I mean, this is a team that is potentially going to go up.
Would you like that band there also?
The band.
Yeah.
Which band?
It played at the Varsity Shield games.
No, I'm
You
fine.
loved it. JP.
I don't actually know what you're talking about.
The band, they play there. Like when they play at UWC and at Varsity Shield.
I only
Yeah, they
know.
were there for the hooker tournament actually
I
too.
only
So
know. Oh, that band.
That band.
Yes, sir. Bring the band. Bring the band, all right? Bring the band. All of them. Gooi meneer. All right, let's take a look at what happened in Division 1. In Division 1, it was Young Wesley's beating Busy Bee 16-13. Atlantis 18-10 over Kylemore. All Saints 18-14 over Blue Stars. In Division 3, Clutiesville going down to Masiphumelele 19-17. Big game for Masiphumelele this weekend. They take on Young Ideas. Retreat losing to Young Ideas this weekend. Young Brothers 17-27 loss against Whistling Wheels. Khayelitsha 18-13 over Bishop Lavis. Cities in Progress. Well, Cities went down there against Richmond Rangers 11.6 and Imikawe 20-0 over Delft. While in the Paarl region, we see Peril United and Windmill United, which I suspect scores were not put in. Riverstones 42-26 over Simondium. Lower Paarl 31-15 over Young Standards. Violets Paarl beating Albions 19-6 and Allendale going down to Paarl Rangers at 26 points to 10. So it certainly looks like it's going to be an interesting. I think that Masiphumelele Young Ideas game, that's also a big one.
Yeah, you know, it's like neighbor. They're not in the same area,
Yeah.
but all those guys know one another. So you know, and all the families know one
Interesting, I spoke to the chairman of Masiphumelele on Thursday. He was at the Zalza at the Vodacom Origins of Golf. And he was talking, he wasn't aware of our show and was quite taken by surprise that we often speak about Masiphumelele so much. And he was telling me about all the great things that they've done there and that it's quite an integrated club. There's, colored players, black players, white players, all denominations playing for the club. And Bob Skinstead being the president there obviously has had a fair amount of attraction. But, I mean, who would have thought that Masiphumelele really would pull it together like that?
Yeah, and I think they're opening a new clubhouse soon there.
Really?
Yeah, they've done a lot of
I think
excellent work.
if you're in the Ocean View area, all right, and you want to play rugby, go knock on the door at Masiphumelele. They're looking for more players. They want you to come and join there. There's some great stuff going to happen there, all right? So if you're out there in Ocean View, in the Komiki Fishhoek area, Noordhoek, Site 5, if you're in that area and you're sitting around thinking that maybe your kids don't have enough to do or don't have any activity to do, or if you're a young aspiring athlete and maybe you haven't got a place to go and play, go to Masiphumelele, go join up and go and play some rugby with the guys. It'll really do you the world of good. Time for us to now, of course, look after one of our sponsors. Evox Sports Nutrition is the official sports nutrition supplier to Western Province Rugby and the DHL Stormers. Of course, the Stormers went down over the weekend, but we know how it is that they became the conference-winning team in South Africa, and of course, doing so well as they did. That took a lot of nutrition. And we've got for you that rugby pack once again, a rapid recovery, a mega grow, and we have 200-gram creatine thrown in the mix. You want to win this prize, 33280. Take your cell phone out now, 33280. Tell us who is the official supplier of sports nutrition supplier of the DHL Stormers and Western Province Rugby. And if you win this, we will throw in for you 2 cases of water bottles, courtesy of, I actually will throw it in. We'll just not fall over, but we'll just throw all this stuff in for you, all right? This whole lot of stuff, all this, 33280, okay? And you can then give this to your club, all right? Your club can have water bottles, and you'll be able to put yourself in the mix to win this prize, courtesy of Evox. Last week's winner was, of course, Carla Norkia. Guess who? The fantastic social media guru, Carla from Brackenfell, wins for herself. I'm assuming it's the same Carla, but wins for herself an Evox hamper. All she did was SMS the number the name of the supplier to 33280. So congratulations, Carla. It will be my greatest pleasure to give you this prize, and I know you for one will make sure that the guys will be able to get those water bottles for the team at Brackenfell. Right, we're going to show you the little behind the scenes clip. I know that so many of you have been wondering what exactly is it that we do with the show. Before we get onto the logs, we're going to take a look at the logs in a minute, and then we'll also touch on your Facebook questions and some of the topics there. But many people have been asking or wondering, how do we put the show together? Well, we were lucky enough to have a Kiwi in our midst to put a little behind-the-scenes video together for us. Take a look at this. You might enjoy it. Right, this is my desk.
The floor manager, so this is my job.
And this is my greatest moment.
The second biggest rugby show in South Africa.
I'm actually the most important guy in the show.
What he says.
All the graphics and everything else is up, and the show looks perfect.
Got some good info for us.
We never really know what JP's got on the agenda. Mr. H has no idea what he does. All he knows is that he's the top of the pile of Super Brew on the panel.
Guys love to pretend that this is their worst moment. Morgan loves it. I think Morgan goes home at night and actually does a little bit of extra.
Like 14 minutes and 30 seconds to air.
So I make sure that the guests and event have microphones, they mic up the radio and stuff.
Microphone. And he normally does the touching of the lower parts of my body. And of course, at the back, we've got all the clubs that have been involved with us, sent us their jerseys.
See how it goes. Enjoy.
Here we go. Hello everybody, welcome back to Capital TV, Wednesday nights live on Cape Town TV. Nice to have you along.
We're just watching the show with the guys, we're just watching. As you can see, just enjoy what they're talking about. 20 seconds standby for a minute, back to you guys to camera one.
Not an ad break, we're sort of just watching the highlights.
I love having a break. I can relax and smile a little bit. Get more makeup put on.
Tweets coming in. Now, I'm going to take all these wires and stuff off me. I feel like I'm bodyguarding, presidential bodyguard or all this stuff. Everyone's got this, isn't it? That's how you do a live show. One take, 90 clubs, everybody in the mix.
I will do this.
Nice little video. Stage.
Looks interesting, yeah.
Yeah. Jerome, exactly how is it that you're the most important?
Yeah, well, let's
Because I
hear.
sit in the middle.
Oh, that's right. Well, I wouldn't say this is a ranking structure. So you mean you're sort of like in Premier League A?
Yeah.
That would put Morgan in Premier League B.
At least you got Beauty and the Beast there.
That of course means that I'm in Super League A. Yeah. Anyway, it's great fun doing the show. Great on the panel. We'll upload that onto Facebook and onto YouTube. You'll be able to check that out a little bit later. And you can see that we do it on a low budget. And we do it for passion and enjoy it. And we just love being here. And that's actually how club rugby works at the end of the day. And the crew
All low
behind
budget.
us.
All low budget. Club rugby is low budget.
Cool. It's low budget all the way. And the crew at Cape Town TV all doing it for experience and the passion to be on the show. And yeah, that's how we do it. And well, hopefully we'll be able to be a lot longer and keep helping club rugby. Did have a question though from a few people asking how do we select the games in terms of where we go. We do, and I must say, it was an interesting comment here from Sean Ollie de Toy on Facebook saying that we need to re-look how we do the games, and Pedro April asking how does the selection process work. Well, essentially what we do is we try and find, first of all, we look for clubs who make the effort to improve themselves. That is important to us. And then we look at the games that might turn into derby matches, having looked at the past weekend's results. And we then try and avoid games that we have covered before. But it's very difficult and folks must understand this, it's very difficult for us to not sometimes duplicate games, because that is just the way that it is. Sometimes you'll need to cover a club which has never been on TV, and essentially we try to, by the end of the year, either have had a club on TV or their jersey on TV, or have done an interview or a history feature with them on TV. Somewhere along the line, by the end of the season, we try to make sure that all 90 clubs have had a feature in some other way. We can't always get to every single game. It is complicated, and of course, we do look to see which of the clubs make an effort.
I thought they must just be nice to me, then they will be on TV, but now I understand it's a different...
Yeah, but they're always nice to you. I know they're so nice to me. Let's take a look then at the logs now, looking at Super League A. All right, we're going to look sort of the red zone and the green zone. This Super League A is a fairly simple one. Durban and Stellenbosch are at the top there with Hamilton. So the fight will be between the three of them. And at the bottom it's Tygerberg, Belhar and False Bay. I don't think we're going to comment too much on Super League A. We've touched base on that enough. Let's look at Super League B now. Helderberg, Bellville and NNK are in the top three. That's pretty clear. Mr. H, I mean, it would be fair to say that Primrose are a little bit too far behind Helderberg, Bellville and NNK to go up. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't think that it will make it.
And it looks like Collegians is managing to stay in the safe zone in Super League B. Goodwin Peniel Villages are in the danger zone, and will at this current space, on this sort of scenario, they'll be going down to Premier League A.
Yeah, I think that's a fair comment to me.
Unless they do, look, I mean, there's still quite a few games. Anything can happen in the last couple of games. In Premier League A, we see Kraaifontein and UWC. They're now sharing log points. They're both on 48, but Hamlets is down below on 41. So the race is really on in Premier League A between Kraaifontein and UWC to stay at the top. And then the third place, I think, what's probably going to be the big fight has been in Hamlets and St. George's and Paarl. To try and get up. But at the moment, with that gap being so big between Kraaifontein and UWC, that looks like they might.
Yeah, a lot depends who must still play who.
It's still early days.
Yeah.
I mean, we're sort of just looking at it as in a now scenario.
Yeah. And you'll know, if you only have to play the bottom 3 or 4 teams, then you have a fair chance. But like Tygerberg showed, doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to win those teams at the bottom. You might easily be complacent and then you lose.
Yeah. So if we look at the bottom of that league, and this is now where this game this weekend is going to be so interesting, is that UWC at the top are going to try and stay there. Every point for them is important to make sure that they go up to Super League B, whereas LC Sofia are sitting on 17 points at the moment. They're second last of the log with Young Peoples. They are fighting for their lives right now, and every point counts for them as well. So this is a strange sort of clash where instead of you having a derby match which is made of the top 2 teams, you've got a top and a bottom who have to both fight for their lives against each other.
Makes it very, very interesting.
Not the kind of thing that you would see in the Super 15, for example. The top team playing against a bottom team isn't really a crowd puller.
No, it is. I just hope that Elsies River is not going to put their whole forwards now in the backs to try and do something else.
Any advice for them?
No, I think like Mr. H said, it's not impossible if you look at what Tygerberg done this past weekend against Durbanville, top of the log, beating them by 5 points. So it's not impossible, JP, if they just pitch on play. And I know that UWC is going to be strong because they've got their whole squad now. Everybody's back in form, training. So it's not going to be easy, but it's not impossible.
Now, Morgs, you've obviously been in the mix with the university sides, playing for Marty's yourself. Not that you're here as a player, but rather as an expert in the panel. How has the break been, the 6 weeks holiday for universities. UWC will be coming back to play now against LCs, having been away for 6 weeks.
Yeah, James, I mean, often the break can do two things. Number one, I think the players come back and they're hungry to play, and the fact that they sort of, that they're fresh. And number two, I think the fact that sort of they come back and they're not really, you're sort of rusty, you haven't played with the ball in 6 weeks. So it's got two very contrasting sort of effects that it can have on the players. But I mean, obviously you can see UWC, I mean, they'll be good at, they'll always be a solid side. So I mean, LCS I think can take a leaf out of Tigerberg's book. And I think UWC don't want to do what Durban are doing in the Super League A. So
you wouldn't have said that if they were playing against Silverleaf.
Yeah, it'll be a different story than that.
Or Silver Tree. I mean, you couldn't take a leaf out of Silver Tree's book, could you? You'd have to take a branch. If you're playing against Silver Leaf, you might take...
Take a branch.
All right. All right then, seeing as, they do say that humor is a sign of intelligence. So we'll leave the jokes up to me then. Solarians.
You've got to be funny at some stage.
Well, I'm trying to be funny. That was a joke. Anyway, Solarians are the top of the pile in Premier League B. Macassar on 44 points. Yesterday will be chasing hard now to get themselves into the mix in some other way. But that's your sort of your green zone at the moment. Solarians, Macassar, and Yesterday challenging to get into Premier League A. While at the bottom, you're seeing a kind of a four-way fight there between Franschhoek, Van der Stel, Milnerton, and Stelkor. I think Stelkor are going to have to pull a rabbit out of the hat to try and do something there. Van der Stel, Milnerton, Jerome, your feeling on those two teams?
Yeah, JP, last night I went to visit Milnerton Rugby Club, and it's amazing, I mean, to see where they are on the lock. I mean, last night they had 3 full sides practicing in the rain.
So why is it going so bad for them then?
Yeah, I don't know, and I know that Ismail Dolly is coaching them now. He's trying hard. It's the first time that he's actually coaching, so it's something new for him also. But he's doing something right to get the players there every week, and especially like last night it was storming, it was raining when I was out there.
Players are there,
and they were all there, and it was actually a good session, and they're still positive.
Oh, that's fantastic. But they've got a lot of players in that area.
Yeah.
I mean, they've always had a good drawing, a sort of a good proximity of players who like to play rugby.
Yeah, it's a good setup. It's a great clubhouse, and there's also always a lot of people around there.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be sad if they have to drop one more.
And they're from the northern suburbs.
Definitely. So.
Hier is die noordelike voorstede. Ja jong, daarso maak ons rugby spelers soos 'n fabriek jong. Een na die ander jong, ons broei hulle hierso. Sterk, wakker, rugby. Hierso, hierdie noordelike voorstede. Hier kom hulle. What's that?
You spoke something before you came on.
No, I told you that was my humor.
Oh, okay. Because I thought maybe this creatine.
The creatine.
Smoke the creatine.
Okay, let's take a look at Division 1 then. The danger zone, or at least in the green zone, Manenberg, Northern Strand. In the red zone, Busy Bees, Young Wesleys, and Young Stars. In Division 2, we would say that in the green zone, it's Atlantis, Blue Jets, and, well, I'm not sure who 31 is. A new club? New club there? New clubs coming into the Division 2 there. Okay, and in the red zone, it's, Temperance, I would say, are definitely in the red zone on 1 point. Welcome to Division 3, Temperance. We can just leave that at that. And in Division 3 then, Masiphumelele looking to climb up to Division 2. Well done to them so far. Young ideas, really challenging Masiphumelele there to see who comes out at the top of the log there. And in the red zone, one would definitely say it's Perseverance and Young Brothers. And Peninsula and Retreat are starting to look safe. While in Division 4, it's Imikawi going up and Ikayalicha going up, if we look at the standings as they are, and at the bottom. And of course, there won't be any relegation in Division 4 here because the next league would be the Paarl region. So Progress and Delft, pretty safe to stay where they are, but certainly won't be climbing up to Division 3. And in the Paarl region, well, no point in really looking at the Paarl region, but we can quickly look at the logs there. The Paarl region will stay as they are with their 12 teams. Pilots is still at the top, sharing that position with Vineyards. And now it is time for us to take a look at the I Love Western Province Club Rugby campaign. This is a campaign that you, as a club player, a fan, a friend of Club Rugby, could be participating in very easily. All you need to do is take out that cell phone and SMS your club's name, and you can put yourself in the mix to get a win for your club, all right? SMS now to 32715, the name of your club, and that will give you points for your club, and then your club can win some great prizes that are being sponsored by Vodacom. But let's take a further look at the I Love Western Province Club Rugby campaign.
Once again, time to look at the I Love WP Club Rugby campaign sponsored by Vodacom. Elsie's River is top of the pile on 1,337 points, Retreats on 982, Scottsdene on 487, Union Mill on 460, and Rocklands in 5th place on 390. Elsie's and Retreat fighting it out for the top spot. Who will be the first club to break the 2,000 point mark next week? To view the latest club standings, visit www.ilovewpclubrugby.co.za. To win 50 water bottles for your club, you need just 500 points. 1,000 points will get you 25 kit bags. 2,000 points will win your club 25 rain jackets. And 4,000 points gets you a set of match jerseys. Elsie's River United and Retreat have already earned enough points and gained some of these great rewards. Upload a picture or a video of your club for 2 points. SMS the name of your club to 32715 and this gets you 5 points. MMS a picture or video of your club to 082 008 0196 and that'll get you a further 5 points. Register for M-Pesa gets you 20 points or switch to Red for 50 points. This week, you can win Vodacom airtime by choosing your favorite picture of the week. Just SMS the word photo and the number of the picture you choose to 32715. These are your options. Photo 1, Young Gardens running with the ball. Photo 2, Tygerberg getting ready to kick. Or Photo 3, the huge collision between Union Mill and Solarians players. The winners will be announced next week. Let's go through that one more time. To win your Vodacom airtime, just SMS your favorite photo's number to 32715. Photo 1 is the Young Gardens picture running with the ball. Photo 2, Tygerberg getting ready to kick. And Photo 3, the huge collision between Milnerton and Solarians. This is your I Love Western Province Club Rugby campaign brought to you by Vodacom.
That, folks, all you need to do is send the word photo and the number that you like to 32715. All right, 32715. I've always wanted to do that like they do it. 32715. Okay, Morgs, which one would you choose there? Young Gardens was photo number 1. Photo number 2 was the Tygerberg, but a great picture there of Solarians against who was the last one? Anyway, Solarians, Milnerton. Which I said was a huge clash there. Two players.
Yeah, James. Obviously, I like the big hits and the physical stuff, so I'll go Solarians.
You're gonna go with photo number 3.
Photo number 3.
SMSing to 32715. Photo number 3. Okay, Jerome, any picture for you?
I'll also go with that one.
Photo number 3. Nice action picture.
Yeah, nice one.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people in the picture.
There's a lot of people.
The others has got one person and one person. That one.
Yeah.
Shows you more detail. I was a photographer myself in my former life.
Previous life.
Former life? Yeah. Heavens above. So you're back from somewhere that we don't know.
Yeah, you could think we
had a former life. All right. So there, it's as easy as that, folks. But more than that is in terms of that I Love Western Province Club Rugby campaign. SMS the name of your club to 32715, and you'll immediately start getting some points. You get those points, and then your club puts itself in the mix to win some great prizes there. Let's quickly look at some of the questions, or at least topics that came in on Facebook. We did ask some questions, but now last week we started this topic, and it seemed like a lot of people enjoyed the fact that we had such a debate last week. Quinton Miles Glover. Good to see all the Helderberg teams that won this weekend. Jerome, they do seem to be doing well out there, Helderberg and that, huh?
Yeah.
Bjorn, is it Bjorn? It's almost a French name, Johnson. Eerste Rivier took a bonus point win from Milnerton and also gave their chance of promotion a boost. Now a big game for us against Macassar this weekend. Eerste Rivier will be looking to capitalize on that sort of victory.
Yeah, it will be difficult for them to beat Macassar, but still, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we went out to watch Macassar play against Solarians and home field advantage with 3,000 people around the field. What a game. What a fantastic game. Nico Groenewald pointed out there that NNK, Peneel Villages 19-90, of course, lost there. But he went on to point out the under 20 and the third team did not even pitch up for their games. Mr. H, what's going on with Peneel Villages? I mean, it seems to me that they're not really playing the game here.
We'll have
literally.
To phone the chairman Keith Seister and ask what is happening at the club, you know.
And they didn't go to the after-match function either. I mean, if you've lost 90 points in 19, I can understand you're a little bit
get in the bus and go home.
I mean, it's also, JP, it's like, it's sad because, I mean, they spend a lot of money on the field, and they upgraded the sort of the stadium, the lights are up.
Yeah.
So everything is up and running, and now the players are not pitching, where in the past the people were complaining about they don't have that. Now they've got everything, now they don't pitch.
Well, I mean,
train or play.
I can tell you, and I know maybe it sounds a little bit unfair, but I can tell you that I will not go and take Cape Rugby TV to a team like that. So when you ask us about selections, how do we select the games that we go and film? I can guarantee you I'll go to the team or at least look for teams that are making an effort. And if you're behaving like scum out there playing rugby, forget it. You're not going to get the exposure. And if you don't get the exposure, you're not going to get the sponsors. That's why the teams that have brought their jerseys that are up on the back wall here, they've made the effort. Mr. H, would you agree with me?
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, if we know there's a club that gets a lot of red cards or is involved in off-the-field incidents and things, then why should we go there?
Yeah, they don't deserve to. I mean, because when we go there,
it's not. I mean, there's very few, but
yeah, it actually hasn't happened. Really,
if those things happen, you know, those guys will know that we won't come there.
Yeah, look, I suppose I'm just really sort of trying to explain our selection process. We've never had a case where there's been a club that we don't want to go to for bad behaviour or anything of the sort. Cheryl van Wyk posted there, have some action pics of the game between Tygerberg and Durbel. Can I send them in if you're interested? Cheryl, yes, please send us any of your pictures. Just put them on Facebook and on the Cape Rugby TV Facebook page, and we will just copy them from there. Folks, when you take your pictures, try and find nice angles. Try and get a little bit close up. The next media seminar will be in the next 3 weeks. And if you're at a club and you want to come to the media seminar, we're explaining how you get publicity for your club, how you can get advertising on Cape Town TV for free for your club in terms of the events, and how you can post that up on Facebook. And Alice Michaels will show a little bit of an example of what she's done a little bit later. But some great comments here. Bashir Dedricks also posting here, Tygerberg got it all that morning before the game. Nice comment there from Bashir. The Caleb boys are on their way to Helderberg to win. That came in from Dion de Tooy. William Cupido, LC is winning against Scottsdene. That was a big win for them. Andre Jan Aronson, the mighty Whistling Wheels. The Wheels beat Young Brothers, but unfortunately couldn't get a bonus point. Congrats to Tygerberg and our old player and captain, JB van Staar. That's right, I was at Whistling Wheels and I saw the photograph at Whistling Wheels on the wall of JB, who used to play for Whistling Wheels. You know, Jerome's been around for a while, JB.
Yeah, no, he's been around. And he's been, I don't know how long did he play at Whistling Wheels, but I think he's been playing for more than 30 years at Tygerberg now.
Yeah. 30 years. 30 years at Tygerberg. Come on. I mean, JB.
We're looking for trouble again.
JB doesn't look a day over the 31. Hulle maak sê hulle maak groot en sterk en Tygerberg, Tiger die tiere. And then we started this question, this little topic today on this evening, actually, which is the worst affected fields that you know when it comes to rain. Gerald Males went on to say the Durbanville rugby field, the B field is very bad. Easton Sylvester says that UCT is very bad. Sean Ollie de Tooy says Brackenfell is a real mud bath, and so is Peneel. UCT came up again from Valencia Marcus. Mishka Carter Stoffels says Villages and Peneel Villages. So Peneel Villages seems to be coming out here quite a lot, that the field is not great. And then Gastro also came up. Mr. H, what are the regulations in terms of fields? I mean, how wet or muddy must it be before you call it off?
Only the referee can call it off.
Only the referee can call
Nobody
it off.
else.
So what would the procedure be there?
The referee would go to the field, or unless the club informs us, it's completely underwater.
Yeah.
Then, you know, instead of getting people to go there for nothing, we will then call it off. But then we must know before the time. But you must also remember that fields like Peneel Villages and others, there might be water today and tomorrow there's no water at all. It's muddy, but you play in the mud.
Yeah.
But only the referee can call the match off and say when he comes there that you can't play here, nobody else can do that.
Do you think fields have, in general, had a slight improvement over the last few years?
Yeah, no, a lot of people, they work on their fields. And even I must say that the city of Cape Town, they try and assist clubs. The only problem is that they always do it at the wrong time. They would do it,
at the end of the season?
No, at the beginning of the season, and you can't play there for 4 or 5 or 6 weeks.
Because the grass has to settle.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Or they will come in the middle of the season.
And of course, now we're at the end of the season. And Morgs, one of the interesting things that Ollie said, being from the university point of view, is that this is now Oliver Janssen, the coach at UWC, went on to say that this is where it starts to get interesting. He feels this is his personal opinion, because now the clubs have had a chance to check out the other clubs, and now they start hammering it in the last couple of games. Do you get that feeling?
Yeah, James, look, I think that definitely we're at a stage now where analysis can take place. So if teams are at the stage where they can get someone out of the camera to film their games, then you can definitely do a lot of analysis on sides now. You'll start seeing a trend in certain things that guys do. Purely from a Stellenbosch point of view, but the guys, we analyze who we're playing against, and we see what they can do. So yeah, if teams have the resources to do it, then I definitely advise you go out and you watch.
But you get a feeling already if it's going to be a tough game, a weak game, if the other team's going to pitch up or not.
Yeah, and you can see there's certain patterns that teams are using now. So if you want to be a step ahead of the game, it's probably something clever to do.
Now, Mesa is of course one of our proud sponsors and suppliers here at the Cape Rugby TV show, putting out some great prizes during the season. It's been fantastic to have them on board during the Super 15 season. Last week we gave away a Mesa Express Slate tablet PC. An enormous gratitude to Mesa. This week's winner of that Mesa Express Slate tablet PC is Ishmael Bester. Congratulations, Ishmael. You win for yourself that Express Slate Mesa tablet PC with an Intel Atom 1.66 gigahertz processor, 2 gigabytes of DDR memory RAM, and 32 gig solid state hard drive. Congratulations, Ishmael. You are in the mix. Let's take a look at our fan picks that came in on the Facebook page, and this is what I said, how easy it is. Here's a nice picture from Cheryl van Wyk, Tygerberg after beating Durbel, and what a fantastic picture that is there then. Alice did send us a picture, an image in, of course, a big rugby day. Alice Michael sent in a big rugby day. You can check that out on Facebook. We haven't got it in the slide here, but big rugby day at Elsie's England. Some of the junior sides are here. And so the rugby starts early at Elsie's Rafira on Saturday. Some of the English rugby teams are playing against the under-13s and the under-16s and the under-19s. And then, of course, the table-topping clash, or at least bottom and top, between UWC and Elsie's on Saturday. So we expect to see you there. Whether or not you will find a scarp, I don't know. Okay? You never know. There could be a scarp there. All right, leisure hotels don't have any scarpa in their rooms, that's for sure. Although there have been a few Aussies around lately, you never know what they blow up in the rooms when they're around. One night's accommodation, bed and breakfast at the Strand Towers. If you want to win yourself a night's accommodation, bed and breakfast at the Strand Towers, courtesy of Leisure Hotels. 33280, that's the number you need to SMS the word leisure. Put yourself in the mix. Willie Engelbrecht. I'm not sure if this is Willie Engelbrecht, the cyclist, but congratulations, Willie. Jy wen vir jouself 'n aand nagrus, bed en ontbyt by die strand torings. Alright, that's my Afrikaans version. There we go, Willie, congratulations. Tonight's accommodation, bed and breakfast, 'n nagrus, ontbyt en a slaapie by die strand torings. Alright, that's of course the Strand Towers, courtesy of the Leisure Hotel groups. Fantastic stuff there. Let's quickly look at the fixtures. We're going to race through these, and we can then start wrapping things up. Vics are up against Tygerberg over the weekend. It's Durbel and Marties. Bellhart take on False Bay, and it's UCT and Hamilton's. Those are your Super League A fixtures. In Super League B, it's Peniel Villages and Hands and Hearts. Brackenfell take on NNK. Helderberg and Kales River are in Super League B. In Premier League A, it's Elsie's and UWC. There you see it. That's the big one. That's where we are at this weekend. Make sure you come and join us. Milnerton take on Franschhoek. Eerste Rivier, Macassar, Laguna and Van der Stel. And of course, there you can see it. The next slide shows you the weekend feature match is Elsie's up against UWC. And so make sure that you get down there on Saturday at Elsie's River and come and join us. In Division 1, it's Silver Leaf against Wraithby, Northerns against Young Wesleys, Rocklands and Bullard and Busy Bees. Kyle Moore take on Blue Jets, Gardens Tech take on All Saints. In Division 3, it's Masipumalele against Young Brothers. That's going to be a derby match. Retreat take on Whistling Wheels, Kailicha and Richmond Rangers. In Division 4, Imikawi and Titans. In Division 4, also Bishop Lavers take on Delft. While in the Paarl region, it's Albions and Vintnell United. Paarl Rangers take on Vineyards, Young Gardens and Young Standards, Violets and Lower Paarl, Riverstones, Peril United, and Simondium and Allendale. And I can tell you now that Peril United will come back next week as a North. Right, you wanted to see how to send in those pictures? We do have Alice Michaels' photos, PowerPoint presentation that she did so beautifully. You can do the same thing and we can put it on TV. It's very easy. It's free of charge. It's for you. It's for your club. It is how you get people to your club. Let's take a look at this slide that Alice Michaels sent in the perfect slide size as well. Youth rugby at Ellis Park on Saturday, the 4th of August. All right, so that's this coming, is that this Saturday? What are we now? We're in August or September? Yes. This coming Saturday, so Elsie's are got the English Gosport Ferrum Rugby Football Club out of England. They were founded in 1946. They're coming to play against Elsie's under 16 and under 17 teams. And of course, kickoff starts at 10 o'clock in the morning. All right, it's as easy as that. So there you go, folks. If you want the same kind of advertising for your club, it's in PowerPoint. Attend the media seminars with us. We'll show you how to do it. It's free for your club. Cape Town TV has kindly donated all this airtime. All you need to do is promote your games and send it to us. Color Tone Paint is your white line supplier of choice for the field. Hopefully it's not underwater. Otherwise you've got to put those things that Chad Lacrosse swims in on the side of the fields so that you know. But Color Tone, that is what you want to do now is enter the White Line Fever competition and win a Color Tone hamper for yourself. Last week's winner was Manenberg Rangers. Congratulations, Manenberg. You win for yourself a Color Tone hamper. All you need to do is SMS the word Color Tone and your club's name to 33280. 33280 and you'll put yourself in the mix. Manenberg Rangers, your prize is on its way to you. Super Brew predictions. This is our final week of Super Brew predictions. Mr. H. lyk so trots en vol soos 'n kat met 'n wat nou net 'n bak melk gedrink het. Nee, kyk hoe lyk die meneer. Nee, look at you.
Still in the top 10. That's
still in the top 10. Let's take a quick look at the okay, it's the Super 15 final this week. It's the Chiefs up against the Sharks. It looks like the Sharks are traveling again. In Hamilton at 25 to 10 on Saturday. But let's take a look at the Super Brew rankings then. Mr. T, Willie Volker in first and second, but there you have Mr. H. He dropped down 3 places down to 7th. How exactly did you manage to stay in the top 3, Mr. H?
Exceptional rugby knowledge, sir.
Exceptional rugby knowledge.
JP, but I must say, there must be some scores of the Stormers not correct there.
You think so?
I think so.
I don't know about that.
No, of Mr. H's predictions.
Well, he didn't go against the Stormers at all. No? He could have on a few occasions. People had their doubts about the home team, and Mr. H stayed behind his team all the way through. We all did, actual fact. Not once did we go against it. So, talking about then going
Morgan was tempted to do it.
Morgan was tempted to do it.
At no stage were tempted to go against the Stormers. If we just make that clear.
So then, predictions this weekend, gentlemen. It's the Chiefs against the Sharks. Morgs.
JP, I'm going to keep it local. I'm going to go Sharks by 5.
Jerome.
Chiefs by 12.
Chiefs by 12.
This time, it's going to get the Sharks.
Chiefs by 9.
Is this one of those moments where you have to support a South African team?
Of course you do. I mean, we all support a
That's why you're
class in
not
a swimming.
featuring anyway. That's why he's not featuring in that.
I know, you have a free state.
Just like Mr. H said in the beginning, when everyone supports, you come together and you support Chadley Clausen, the likes of Cameron van der Berg.
So we've all got to come behind.
We've all got to come together and support the South African side.
But how do you expect me to get behind the Sharks? I mean, really, like...
Listen, if the Stormers are not there, who else are you going to support? That's the New Zealand side.
Well, I mean, they do have Sonny Bill Williams. What have you got? What does the Sharks have other than rickshaws and a village?
JP Peterson.
JP Peterson.
They've got.
Well, I'll tell you something. On
Springboks.
Saturday, I wouldn't have minded having JP Peterson on my side.
They've got
They
Springboks
played
in their side. That's the most important thing.
Springboks. They've got funny hairstyles. You know, I mean, honestly, like those hairstyles went out in 5 years ago. The Sharks are. They were in a time zone. All right then.
But you know, JP, the Sharks, if they play in Hamilton on Saturday, so then they travel back, and then next Saturday they're in Cape Town again.
They're playing again.
Curry Cup against.
Curry Cup starts
the
next
province.
week.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that the Curry Cup? Look, I've lost track of all these games because we focus mainly on club rugby.
Are we going to have a Super Brew for
Should
Curry
we have a
Cup?
club rugby for Super Brew? Folks, if you're out there, you want to do a Super Brew with us, a club rugby, I'll get hold of the guys.
Curry Cup.
Yes, I'll get hold of the guys overseas who made contact with us.
There is
Super Brew.
There is
Okay, so yes, there is one, but will we have a
Cape Rugby pool.
A Cape Rugby pool for Curry Cup? That of course means that our show will have to flight all the way through to the end of the Curry Cup.
End of October.
Hey, meneer. Dis 'n harde werk, you know. Why is it that Belleville doesn't have any sponsors? Just asking. Lorraine de Jong, I think they're working on it. What we would like to see is local corporates getting out and sponsoring. Personally, it's a real pity that South African nylon spinners and the Sands, why they don't sponsor at Belleville. That's a good question that if I was to ask. If Ilse Margot Florence posted a question here, if I was Vodacom, I'd definitely go for photo 2 without any doubt. Tiger Berg supporters coming in. For the record, Bradley Green is an all-arounder. Yes, we know. He played a lot of different teams, so thanks, Alice. We've got that one. JP, you keep on showing the same teams. Oliver, I think we've beaten that cat to death now a few times. I don't think I need to talk about that any further. And Carla Norkia going, I won!
Well done,
Congratulations, Carla. So, gentlemen, that's it. And I suppose you want my prediction on Super Brew for the weekend?
Not
Does it
interested.
matter?
You're not really interested. All right. Well, I did have the Chiefs by 7, and then I decided, you know,
Local is lekker.
local is lekker, and that, you know, people would blame me if I don't get on my local team. Anyway, Sharks by 7. So, you know, they sometimes pull the rabbit out of the hat.
Yeah.
But you don't think the fatigue will take them?
Fatigue. They've been. That's all they do is travel. Yeah, fatigue. Fatigue is an emotion. Tim Noakes says it's an emotion. www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV. Morgan, Jerome, Mr. H. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, sir.
Jerome,
Thanks, JP.
Morgs.
Cheers, Japes.
There we go. Nice and respectful. I like that. Have a great rugby weekend, folks. We'll see you at LC's over the weekend. Scarp or no scarp. Bye bye.